Hello, I'm Terry Lucas. I'm the VP of Fleet Sales at SkyBitz, and with me today is the co-founder and Senior Vice President at Coretex, Craig Marris. You may be asking why SkyBitz and Coretex are appearing together at the FreightWaves Cold Chain Summit. And I've got to tell you, I am so excited to be one of the first people to get to announce that we have formed a new partnership. I'm going to start and just give you a little background on why this new partnership is important to SkyBitz. The market has changed and customers are looking for a holistic solution to their challenges, but they continue to want the best. And so at SkyBitz, as an industry leader in providing intelligent data for the trailer and intermodal industries, for years our customers have been asking us for a reefer cold chain solution. They want to reduce complexity from multiple products and platforms and contracts, and we had two options to make this happen. One was to take the path of research and development and to develop our own solution from the ground up. But we quickly learned that a reefer solution has a full scope of different needs, concerns, and industry regulations that were beyond that in the dry chain market. And so our second option was to partner with another world-class solution provider. And I am so pleased to say that we found that in Coretex. Coretex has been in the market for 15 years in providing that intelligent supply chain assurance, and they had already cleared all the hurdles. As a matter of fact, they were at the table, when it came to working with regulatory issues and things like that. So I got to tell you, I think bringing together these two heavyweights of SkyBitz and Coretex is a huge win in the marketplace and for our customers. So I'm so excited to welcome you, Craig, and ask you, what does this partnership mean to Coretex?
Yeah, thanks, Terry. And I would say, at Coretex, we're really, really excited about this partnership. And to the credit of SkyBitz, I mean that is a big decision whether you do internal R&D or you go out to the market and partner with somebody that's been in the business for a long time. And fortunate, Coretex is part of this new partnership. And for us, it's exciting because SkyBitz has a formidable footprint. And ever since we've sort of engaged with SkyBitz, the conversation around their customer base saying, hey, look, we really want a unified, integrated reefer platform tied with the SkyBitz solution. That's been their ask, and so we can deliver that. And it allows for Coretex an expansion of our footprint in partnership with SkyBitz. So it's significant. So yeah, we're stoked to be part of this this partnership.
That's great. I'll tell you what, Craig. Let's just dive right in. Can you tell me what differentiates Coretex in the marketplace?
Yeah, sure. There's a number of elements, and I think that the first sort of overarching comment I would make is really around the sort of knowledge domain. As you sort of mentioned, Terry, we've been in cold chain transportation for well over 15 years. So, and also our presence in the US. So our roots run deep in the US, and so the knowledge domain, and also Coretex provides an in-cab platform as well. So we've got the full sort of scope, if you will, of what it requires to think through about the supply chain from in-cab, the assets, right from your driver, your trailer, your refrigerator load, and so on and so forth. So that's the main thing, so knowledge. The second thing I'd say is you have to start with super intelligent hardware. And so we're onto our 5th generation hardware platform, which we call Core Hub, and that is a real IoT play, whereby we're putting intelligence actually at the refrigerator unit level, at the trailer level, truck level. And why is that important? It's important because our customers want intelligent data that they can use to make important decisions. So what we've done is we've had two-way control, which means we can control the microprocessor for many years. But now with this intelligence, we can overlay more intelligent insightful alerts, which we call like high risk, high value. We've also integrated into the subsystems of the trailer. So that's things like the brakes, like the weight, like tyre inflation, and also lift gates. And the reason why that's important is because customers want to understand the full cost of ownership. Tyres are super expensive, fuel's super expensive. So what we can do is we can layer on this really intelligent layer of information that we can bring back to our customers, and for them, they can make really insightful decisions.
So that is,
they're probably main things so far.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. So I just see a parallel universe there, because at SkyBitz, our focus is on the smart trailer and our next generation platform, and it sounds like that artificial intelligence layer and bringing those smart assets to play to bring a whole new layer of intelligent data that people can make decisions on is at the forefront of what you're doing too. So it sounds like a great combination. Craig, one of the things that I've been reading so much about is regulation in the food safety space. Can you shed some light on not only what's going on in the Food Safety Modernization Act, but what I've been hearing about what's going on out in California?
Yeah, let's sort of start with Food Safety Modernization Act, or FSMA. So in 2016, there was some pretty significant changes in the regulations, and they really wanted to move from a reactive to a preventative construct. And so with that, with that kind of in mind, what it really did is it meant that the shippers had to think a lot more differently about the regulations. It put a lot more onus on them to comply. And what that did is it required them to have quite insightful information about the load and the integrity of the load. And so kind of Coretex's response to that is we've actually now released actually this year in combination with a large shipper as well as a private carrier, simulated product temperature. So what we've done is we've gone well beyond just getting the temperature of inside a trailer or truck to actually get into the product. And so what that does, it gives them far better assurance and insights in terms of how the carriers are going. So that's a lot of value we've created for the shipper, but for the carrier, by having this intelligent hardware, if you will, on the trailer, we're providing significant value for them in terms of the operations as well. So that's a major thing. And the other thing too is just with FSMA, 48 million people get sick every year in the United States. 128,000 get hospitalized or thereabouts, and then over 3,000 die. So they had to do something around the regulations. So that's kind of FSMA. It's pretty significant. In California, their whole goal is around zero emissions. It's a lofty goal, and so they're introducing quite significant legislative changes. And so the impact of that, on one hand, is it's really driving innovation. So, for example, we've now integrated into a fully electric unit with two-way control, and that's significant. And at the same time, we're involved with the regulators because part of the regulations were actually heading down the path that if you had a reefer running and you were stationary, you had to shut it off within 15 minutes, and that's kind of somewhat impractical. And so just educating the legislators about the impact of what, a decision like that is really important. So we're making sure that we're at the table helping shape this. And yes, we absolutely want to reduce emissions. At the same time, we want to make sure that, loads get to their destinations in a very safe manner.
Well, it's interesting, Craig, while you were talking about that, it made me think of another term that I learned from you, and that was reputation management. And ensuring the part that you have in the supply chain is indeed secure and you're able to prove from beginning to end. Can you tell me more about that? Because it seems to fall right into what you're talking about here.
Yeah, no, that's important because the way that we in Coretex, we've engaged with our customers, we kind of sort of see it on two sides. On one side is kind of the business model. I mean, that's all about how our customers, our carriers, how they make money. Okay, so that's about value creation. And on the other side is really the operating model. So that's their people, their process, their structure, their culture. And what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we have those two things aligned. So we think very carefully about their processes. What can we do to improve the way that they deliver the product safely and on time and in full? What can we do to reduce their costs on things like fuel? So we analyze pre-call with our data scientists in combination with our customers. And so as we sort of flow through both the business model and the operating model, you have this thing called the trust index. And that's the thing that is really, really, really important for our customers.
I want to kind of get maybe take a little turn in direction as far as what it means to the SkyBitz end user. You know, simply put, you can have your tracking and analytics of all your assets on the SkyBitz platform, plus through the magic of single sign-on, have the link that takes you directly to the key, important, rich command and control screens and reporting features that the Coretex platform has in the marketplace. So I think of that, and then I think also that the customers will enjoy a simplified consolidated bill from SkyBitz, plus access to the customer success model that they've grown to love and grown accustomed to. Craig, I've heard you refer to it multiple times as the single source of the truth. So you want to expand on that?
Yeah, and that's something that our customers have been striving for. I mean, they are inundated with information and data. So bringing it together on one unified platform just totally makes sense. And it's not necessarily saying that you have to get it from one provider. In this case, I think we've proven this is a really good example of where we've got two really formidable players coming together in a unified way. That means that the customer gets the best experience. So we can create this max amount of value for them as possible. And so the single sign-on, bringing that into a logical framework, just totally makes sense. I mean, some customers have 3 different providers for their ELD, their dry vans, their refrigeration. This is kind of bringing it together. And from a customer's perspective, that's important, that's exciting, because it does mean that we can generate so much more value in combination with our teams. All right, you've got an extremely talented engineering and execution group. So do we. And so bringing that together, again, in a unified way and as a single source of truth with this actionable information. I mean, that's words that we use, but ultimately it's hard to deliver. This helps deliver it.
No, it really does. And I got to tell you, seeing our two teams work together and working together with you and your team has really been refreshing, because I truly have seen a partnership in every way when we roll up our sleeves and work towards bringing this all together. And I think that's what makes it so exciting about what we're bringing here. It's not just a partnership and, kind of a handshake. It truly is an integrated partnership that is going to deliver an end user experience that I think is second to none and that we haven't seen in the marketplace at this point. So I know we're running out of time here. So I guess if I said, what's our call to action? We want to simplify the marketplace. We want to simplify our customers' experience and provide them with this rich feature experience. So we kind of ask, bring your reefers, your dry vans, your flatbeds, your tankers, your chassis, your containers, all under one umbrella, because we've got you covered. Craig, is there anything you want to add?
No, as I said, I just want to sort of close out saying, really appreciate the opportunity for this partnership. We're excited. We've already got, we've already done our first orders together, and that's been a great experience, and we'll build off that. But ultimately, I think the thing for our customers, particularly for your customer base and even ours, is this is the opportunity to really compete well in the market, and the landscape has changed. Buying behaviour has changed. COVID has taught us that. We've seen so much more online purchasing. So that means things got to, we can help, adapt and understand and get your operating models and your business models aligned. So yeah, thank you so much for a great opportunity. Appreciate talking with you today, Terry.
Thank you, Craig. It was great talking to you too.